Hey, MathKook here. This video contains one of many examples in my Algebra 2 library. The rest of those examples, along with hundreds of other videos, are only available at mathkook.com. Let's MathKook it up. This question says, factor y squared plus 5y minus wy minus 5w. Since we're factoring, let's look at the steps for factoring. The first step is take out the greatest common factor. I'm going to write out our expression here and see if you can find a greatest common factor that all four terms have in common. So looking at the first three terms, they all have y's, but this one doesn't have a y. These two terms have w, but no w's here. There's a couple 5's, but no coefficients here. So these four terms, they do not have any common factors. So we move on to step 2. Look for special factorizations. Well, there's 4 terms here. Now, 4 terms is always a good hint that it might be grouping to factor. So let's try grouping. So I'm going to group the first 2 terms together, and then the second 2 terms together. Taking a look at the first 2 terms, what do they have in common that we can take out? They have a y in common. So let's go ahead and take out a y. And in the first term, we're left with, we pulled out a y and there's a y squared, so there's just one y left over. And then in the second term, there's a 5y. We took out the y, so there's a 5 left over. Next here, what do we have that we can take out here? We can take out a w. Now, should we take out a positive w or a negative w? Well, the goal is we want to have a y plus 5 left over in the parentheses here. So let's try taking out a negative w. If that doesn't work, we'll take out a positive w. Now, if we take out a negative w, that's going to change the sign of each of these terms. So we'll be left with positive y, and then here we'll be left with positive 5. So it'll be y plus 5 in the parentheses. Now, this works out great because notice in both these parentheses, we have a y plus 5, which is the whole goal of grouping. What's left in parentheses here must be the same for grouping to work. So taking a look at these 2 terms, and it's really important, there are 2 terms here, this term and this term. They have a y plus 5 in common, so we're going to take out the y plus 5 out front. So I'll go ahead and underline that. So we're taking that out front, and what we're left with is, in the first term, we're left with a y, and then minus w. So the second parentheses will be y, and then minus w. Now we assess our answer and see if we can factor any further. Y plus 5 does not factor, and y minus w does not factor any further. So our answer is this. Hey Kook, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. For unlimited access to all of my Algebra 2 videos, visit mathkook.com. Thanks for watching.